This is Coach Val Domingo, and I will be sharing with you one of the most important processes pagdating sa financial planning process na ginagawa natin as a financial planner. Alam naman natin that there are a lot of ways when it comes to building wealth. And pag sinabi nating a lot of ways, definitely it's very broad and varied. To be more specific and simple, the approach that I'm going to share with you will ensure that you will increase your chances or your client's chances of achieving sustainable, progressive wealth creation. And of course, alam naman natin na maraming mga thought leaders when it comes to the financial world ang nagbibigay ng mga ganitong klase ng principles. Isama na natin dyan si Tony Robbins, si Chinkitan, at kung sino-sino pa like T. Harv Eker. At ang maganda nito, hindi lang ito sustainable way of your clients' wealth creation, but it will also minimize the risk for them. Sa pamamagitan nitong principle na to, you will be able to educate your client about the proper asset allocation. And this is actually the proven way to actually achieve a financially free and sound life. This will help them create a structure for a more stable and sustainable way of achieving financial freedom. As financial planners, we can use this as our way of creating awareness and urgency para dun sa mga prospective clients natin so that they can achieve a true financial freedom in their lives. And this principle is what we call the financial freedom pyramid. And it actually is composed of security, growth, and high risk. Just like any structure, it is important to actually establish a stable foundation. Kung magpapatayo ka ng bahay o kaya ng building, importante yung paglalatag ng tamang foundation. The higher the building, definitely the deeper and more stable the foundation that you need. In the financial freedom pyramid, our clients should be able to understand that security asset allocation should be the foundation towards their financial freedom. And of course, under this part are the emergency fund, adequate life insurance, health fund, and their future life fund. So let's talk about this one by one. Unahin na natin dyan yung emergency fund. Ang emergency fund, this is some amount of money that they need to set aside in order for them to cushion whatever emergencies will come along the way. Itong mga emergencies na to are the likes of repairs ng bahay o kaya naman ng sasakyan kung meron silang sasakyan. Pwede din itong yung mga outright medical emergencies o kaya naman kapag nawalan sila ng trabaho. We guide our clients on understanding na ang emergency fund nila must be equal to 3 times to as much as 6 times of their monthly income. So for example, yung kliyente mo, kumikita siya ng 30,000 per month. And if he wants to build up an emergency fund equivalent to 6 months, ang kailangan lang niyang gawin is i-multiply ito by 6. So ang kanyang emergency fund should be 180,000 pesos. It is important to state to our clients that the emergency fund should be kept in an instrument that is readily available kapag kailangan, pero hindi siya ganun ka-accessible, lalong-lalo na kapag merong mga unnecessary ones o kaya naman mga expenses. Based on the client's financial blueprint na na-discuss ninyo early on in the financial planning process, dapat malaman mo or ma-judge mo kung meron ba talagang emergency fund itong si client. Congratulate your client if he has already established or at least started building up his emergency fund. Otherwise, ask him about how he felt about it. Number 2 component ng security asset allocation is yung adequate life insurance. And I believe that this is one of the most important things that is easily neglected by a lot of Filipinos. In fact, based on a study, only 2% of Filipinos actually has life insurance policies. The question is, are they adequately covered? Ano nga ba ang adequate life insurance? At papaano natin matutulungan yung prospective clients natin to have an adequate life insurance coverage? You should be able to come to an agreement with your client that having an adequate life insurance is actually their way of protecting the financial future of their loved ones should they be taken out of the picture in case of sudden death. The best way to compute for the adequate life insurance para sa kliyente mo is to ask them about their annual income and multiply it with the number between 5 and 10. These numbers, 5 and 10, will actually represent the number of years that they will want to provide for their family just in case they are taken out of the picture or they're no longer around. This way, kung mapili nila kung 5 years ba or 10 years ba nila gustong mag-provide dun sa family nila just in case they're no longer around, yung family nila hindi mahihirapang mag-adjust dun sa lifestyle na nakasanayan na nila. For example, yung client mo is earning 1 million pesos a year and he wants to provide 5 years kung wala na siya dito sa mundo. So, ang adequate life insurance na bagay na meron siya is 1 million times 5 years, which is an equivalent of 5 million pesos. After computing this, just check on your clients kung ano yung nararamdaman niya. For example, nagawa niyang makapag-set aside ng 5 million worth of life insurance coverage para sa mga mahal niya sa buhay. And of course, ano din yung magiging regret niya just in case he was not able to prepare for this. Number 3 in our security asset allocation is of course the health fund. With this in point, we are actually helping our client to actually appreciate the importance or the value of setting aside a fund just in case there will be health or medical emergencies. In this part, you can actually educate your clients about certain ranges of cost on the initial treatments of certain critical illnesses. Like for example, sa stroke, it goes between 500,000 to 1 million. Ang cancer, somewhere between 1 million to 3 million pesos. For aneurysm, it can range from 1 million to around 4 million pesos as well. Ang pinaka-importanting bagay dito is matanong natin yung client natin kung magkanong critical illness fund will actually give him peace of mind just in case something like this would arise. Fourth is, of course, yung tinatawag natin na future life fund. And ang future life fund includes education and retirement fund. Pagdating sa education fund, it's important to note kung single pa ba or married na yung ating mga kliyente. Kung married na sila, meron na ba silang sinisimulan pagdating dun sa future educational needs ng kanilang anak. It is important to actually inform our clients na pagdating sa future educational needs ng kanilang mga anak, whether high school pa yan or college pa yan, mas maganda na simulan nila as early as possible. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na educational cost inflation. Ito yung continuous na pagtaas ng mga tuition fees or whatever educational expenses will be needed kapag nagsisimula ng umattend ng school yung mga anak nila. Of course, another important component ng Future Life Fund is yung retirement fund. Karamihan ng mga Filipinos umaasa na lang sa SSS or yung tinatawag natin na government pension. Pero ang tanong dyan, adequate din ba yung maiipon nila na fund pagdating dun sa kanilang government pension na matatanggap eventually when they retire? So the way to compute this is actually to ask them magkano yung kakailanganin nila na pangtustos sa mga pangangailangan nila just in case they're actually retired right now. And if they say, for example, 20,000 pesos yung kailangan nila on a monthly basis to be able to retire comfortably, you multiply that by 12 months. So in this case, that's gonna be 240,000 pesos worth of annual pension na kakailanganin nila. And then you ask them, how long will they be living from their retirement up to the point that they will be departing from this earth? So kung 20 years yan, that's gonna be 240,000 times 20 years. And that's gonna be around 4.8 million. But they should understand na yung 4.8 million na yon, yun yung kakailangan nila kung retired na sila ngayon. What if they will be retiring 20 years or 30 years from now? Again, they have to consider inflation and you have to make sure that they understand that. Usually, ang inflation, that would mean na nadodoble yung value ng pera every 10 years. So say for example, 20 years na lang yan. So yung 4.8 million na na-compute mo kanina, i-multiply mo yan by times 2 for the first 10 years. So that's gonna be around 9.6 million. So yung 9.6 million, i-times 2 mo uli yan because ang pinag-uusapan natin is 20 years. So that's gonna be around 19.2 million. And that's the amount of retirement fund na kailangan nilang pag-ipunan simula ngayon pa lang. So there you have it. When it comes to establishing the right foundation so that your clients will be able to achieve financial freedom in his or her life, you'll be able to guide them with the right mindset of setting aside money for their security asset allocation. As a financial planner, our role is to write down all the figures na kinumpute natin kanina and allow them to see how near or how far are they from those intended figures. And then of course, lastly, we ask them about their priority. Ano ba yung priority nila dun sa mga items na nasa security asset allocation nila? Of course, not including yung emergency fund, it's important for them to actually choose between their order of priority dun sa kanilang adequate life insurance, sa kanilang health fund, or yung future life fund nila.